They're rallying around their vaginas. And here's the thing. Here's my point. I think your vagina is the one thing that makes you not a man. And women are telling me, look, we want the power, the wealth, the prestige that we think men have had, but we have vaginas. Don't limit us the way men. We don't want to be drafted. We don't want to pay child support. We don't want to work in dangerous jobs where women will have vaginas. It's a play about double standards, Paula.
But the society is about double standards. Don't you understand that, first off, all life begins as female? That's really kind of an unfortunate situation because your penis is just a clitoris that grew. However, sorry, Tanya. However, the point of the matter remains that...
No, I'm not...
The point of the matter remains that it should not be so important. We're talking about a play that's been written to sensationalize, perhaps on the very outside. Yes, it's positive. Women should feel good about themselves. You should feel good about yourself.
Yes.
But it shouldn't be about, you're a woman, you have a vagina, now use it to hit men over the head.
But it implies a denigration of men. I'm proud of who I am as a person, but I don't take, my penis is something I was born with. If I take pride in my penis, it implies that I'm glad I don't have a vagina. That denigrates women. That's an implicit denigration of women.
Historically and empirically, up until the last 100 years, women were supposedly second-class citizens. What has stunk in the women's movement is what took women hundreds of years to train into you men, which is stand up when I come to the table, hold the door for me.
That's right.
Give me your chair.
You lost that chivalry.
You lost all that.
That's right.
Not only now,
but the vagina monologue seeks to reclaim it.
With plays like the Vagina Monologue, they lost the respect of men because they're objectifying themselves.
Absolutely, I agree. And I hate to say this again, but I'm agreeing with you.
All right,
I think Eve did a wonderful job of getting everyone's attention, first of all, and then attention on the violence against women. I mean, every 2 minutes a woman's raped in this country, at least.
How did this play? You bring up V-Day. How did this play? You know about V-Day? Here's the thing. V-Day has taken over for Valentine's. I liked Valentine's Day. I remember Valentine's Day. It was a nice holiday about how men and women loved each other.
We called it VD Day. Remember? In high school, and you're my age.
It was about candy, and thanks for the compliment. It was about candy and flowers and love and romance and all the good things about men and women. That doesn't exist on college campuses anymore. Now it's about V-Day. It's a militant statement that has replaced the love.
Tanya's point.
But what are we going to do to bring attention to the issues that she wanted to bring attention to? You have women in Bosnia, certain parts of Africa where women are mutilated.
All right, Tanya, address that issue. Address the violence against women, but not in a play that denigrates women. I don't think they're helping women by doing that.
I want you to do a men's net about circumcision, because Tanya brings up how girls are being mutilated in Africa. We're doing genital mutilation here in the United States, in New York, and that gets me upset. I'm sorry. I want you to do a men's net about circumcision.
Completely ridiculous subject. Circumcision should be made illegal, and most of the world isn't circumcised, and those children are not brutalized at birth like they do here. However, that's not what we're talking about.
But how did the Vagina Monologues get transformed into this phenomenon?
No, women had no voice for a long time.
This is a great vehicle. I think it was a brilliant vehicle. While I would not necessarily have worded things the way that she did, I think it was a great vehicle. She has everyone's attention, everyone's full attention.
She actually didn't word it. These actually are interviews with people that she interviewed. Now, the ones I've done, I've actually played a dominatrix, I've actually played a clueless English woman who learned to masturbate. I played different roles.
And these were stretches for you, or what?
Yes, tremendous. But the most touching of them was a woman who talks about losing her virginity when she's a young woman, and she talks about how she bled, and that since that moment she was so traumatized by that event that she never had sex again. Now that, of all of the monologues, is the best one, because that actually speaks to the event that happened to her as a human being, as opposed to saying, my short skirt, which is baloney.
Exactly. Right.
So there are certain good ones, but I agree with you, Tony. The Vagina Monologues in general are ridiculous. It focuses on, why do 17-year-old girls want breast implants for a graduation gift? In other words, it doesn't mean anything anymore to have a brain or a personality.
Aren't we going backwards? That was my point.
Yes,
to some extent, the Vagina Monologues, it pretends to go forward, but actually it goes backwards.
I agree. I hate to say this to the two of you, but I agree.
Well, I guess I'm stuck on her purpose of making it. You know, I'm stuck on the purpose.
And
I'm just...
Well, that evolved. That evolved.
Yes,
That was that evolved.
Tanya, I think when she first came out with it, it was, again, feminist propaganda. As a matter of fact, V-Day started out as Vagina Day, and then she caught on to the more popular Violence Against Women Day, because that was an easier sell to the public. But, you know, Vagina Day, you know, she just wanted women to rejoice and be sexually free. And I'll tell you the truth.
If there was Penis Day,
Right.
oh my God.
we'd be called nothing but perverts.
That's right.
That's right. We would be called nothing but perverts. So it's a double standard here. You talk about double standards.
It's not just a sexual double standard. Let's put it this. There's a clothing line called FUBU, For Us, By Us, which is supposedly for African Americans. Now, if we had a white people for us, by us, oh my gosh, the world
we do, there's just other names.
Yeah, but the point is, I don't agree, because anything can be purchased, but to have a product line that basically says, this is only for people who are 6'2", weigh 500 pounds, and have yellow hair, which is segregationist in any way. So it's not just sexual, it's societal.
Yeah, but there was a Penis Day, and I want to tell you, and I want all three of you to respond to it.
Go ahead.
Penis Day was tried at Roger Williams University in Rhode Island a couple of years ago.
Great school.
And they had a mascot. It's what they do on college campuses. The mascot for Penis Day was evidently a 6-foot-tall, friendly-looking penis named Testicles. Now, the college provost, and turns out you don't have to be smart to be a provost. The college provost, first upon meeting Testicles on the college campuses, had no problem, because the provost thought that Testicles was a giant mushroom. Not making that up.
He was circumcised. If he'd not been circumcised, he would not have
well, we're doing another show on that, right? When the provost found out that Testicles was in fact not a giant mushroom, the costume was confiscated. The kids behind it were put on probation. This was disgusting. This was a display of male sexuality that was considered dirty and disgusting. How dare they? But overt, explicit displays of female sexuality are tolerated and celebrated. Male sexuality is considered dirty. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on?
Well, we don't walk around where there's no 6-foot pink vagina statue.
Oh, come on, Paul. This was
very hard to make.
You know what the symbol for V-Day is? Is a red V. It is not a giant vagina statue. So that is a little boy-ish.
No,
Well,
let's
explain them walking around with this, though. I mean, and especially this is right from Eve Ensler's website. This is what they're selling. By the way, this is a children's size. Would you want your daughter walking around with this?
Well, that makes
I don't think so.
Women fight with their vaginas, which goes right into Mel's point, which is women are using their vaginas to.
Yes.
And
Well, I think she said she wants them to embrace their vagina, which is, I wouldn't say it that way again, but...
But then that means that she's saying that women are only their vagina. And you know what? Guess what? My vagina and I haven't spoken in weeks. I am not just my vagina. Trust me.
There's something in the play where a woman says, I am my vagina. It's very regressive.
Mel, I have a question for our guests here. I can understand why women would embrace this. You know, it's about rebellion and it's about camaraderie and and bonding, female bonding and all that.
Rebellion,
but what do you think about the men? At one meeting that I didn't make, although I did make the second meeting, board meeting they had on this topic at John Jay High School, at the first meeting about 50% of the men in the audience sided with these young teenage girls. Now, I would want to examine their motives. I would want to examine why these guys are coming forward, both classmates, male classmates, and adult men, and wanting women to talk like this.
I think it was clearly they want to exercise their First Amendment right.
Well, hell, I don't know about that.
I think it was just about. I mean, even
you don't think there's anything behind it?
Well, they're probably,
having young girls, underage girls, talk sexually.
Well, Tony, I don't think it's quite that perverted. I think that the husbands want to continue having sex with their wives, so they agree. The fathers want to support their daughters, so they agree. And most teenage boys don't know how to produce a critical thought. Therefore, that's my three guesses on why.
I just agree with everything you just said. This is terrible that we're just agreeing on.
Yeah, it's dreadful.
About what? Wait a minute.
We're having two separate conversations.
I think the men supported them for support. They probably were friends of theirs, family members of theirs, and this was great to stand up and
No, but some of the
But
men were just from the neighborhood, and again,
Tony, would,
I wouldn't do it,
would it
but-
bother you less if the play were less explicit? Is that part of the reason for your opposition? Honestly,
yes.
Are you bothered by the overt sexual?
Yes, I think there should be a little bit of a return to modesty, and I'm not the only one.
I agree with
We have here Daniel Crittenton's "What Our Mothers Didn't Tell Us."